us coming together, sitting in Rajshri, watching my debut film. It was just a very emotional experience. I
And
think
emotional
for everyone.
not only for her. Everybody was
Everyone
crying. at the end
was
of
in
it.
tears.
Actually seen every film. You have never done work with Rajshri.
I haven't, surprisingly, I was offered work by Rajshri when I was just starting my career. Gulshan Rai, who was the producer of Trishul, told me that this time pe abhi tum karogi to, our Trishul will get impacted. For some reason, I missed out working with them. And I feel very regretful because they made beautiful films.
Yeah.
Because they are
I remember you saying that I wouldn't have wanted any other production house as your first film because she felt very safe, I think, as a mom.
She, as a little kid, hated it when people took my pictures.
I got possessive. I didn't know that this is what happens if you're an actor.
She used to be a brat. She'd put the hand in front of her camera and say, "No, you can't take my mommy's photo." They were not the filmy kids जो sets पे जाते हैं और बोलते हैं बेबी के लिए वो ले आओ. Never.
Your brother debuted before you, and he saw maybe not the better side of it.
His film came out in the theaters when nobody was stepping out of their house. And he's been such a good support system, even though he had such a different experience from me. He literally told me, dude, that I'm so happy that you're getting this because my experience was very different.
Are you going to cry now?
It was a very special moment that we both had, and I'm very grateful for him.
This conversation actually started as a discussion last month when I was speaking to Poonam ma'am, and it has taken many forms in between, but I think it is now coming out in the most beautiful way I could have imagined. There's a face that has been lighting up our screens for a long time, and she still continues to do so. We saw a recent addition to that, a new face that brought the same charm but with a unique and fresh perspective and a fresh twist. And together, both of them have been now together brightening up our screens, and I can't wait to see them together in sharing the screen as well. We are doing that first on our interview. So I think we are giving a glimpse of that to the audience. So join me as I welcome the amazing, the beautiful duo of mother and daughter, Poonam ma'am and Paloma. So firstly, welcome to Bollywood Bubble.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to say, this has been a conversation in the making for a long time. So I have been behind her for a conversation for the last 4 years now.
And we have
that's
spoken. A lie. 4 years
we have spoken in between a long time. A lot of times. When I was in my first publication, we spoke during that a lot.
Yes.
So since then, I keep messaging her from time to time for conversations. But
so in my last message, I told him, मुझे interview करने की जगह interview Paloma now. That's the most. And so today, as you said.
Yeah. And I have to say, I went to the screening of Dono, and I wrote the review for it as well. And I had come out and told her that you bring such a freshness to screen. I loved her in the film, and she and Rajveer both, they did amazing work. For you as a mother, what was your first review, reaction? I know there would be a biasness because you are a mother, but still, as an audience as well, what was your reaction?
Well, you think as a mother, it's a bias positive? No. Sometimes it's a critical bias also. Ye aisa waisa. But she didn't give me a chance. When I saw Dono, I was like, this girl, I don't really have anything I can criticize. There were certain moments where I was like, my God, she has done this. In fact, later I came to know her introduction scene, which according to me was a very tough scene for her to be, ticking off this person, speaking to this person. She said that was the first day of shoot. Can you imagine? And I was like, oh no, I can't believe that you have done it so well. The whole process of her talking to one person, the other making, So as an audience, yes, I thought she was very good. But as a person who's acted in film, I thought that was a difficult scene for a newcomer. And she did a good job.
She has done a great job. And I told her also that her backstory is the most relatable part for me in the film. The way gaslighting is shown. I have actually said this in every interview of Dono that has happened, that the gaslighting part is the most relatable and the most aptly shown. And the way she has carried it, you have shown a lot of things, how body insecurity kind of delves in kind of lowering your self-esteem and everything. To get into that mindset of it all, how difficult was it and how challenging was it?
I'm sure every role one takes on is going to be challenging in their own way. I do feel like we got a lot of time to prep. you know, and we made the most out of that. Avnish, Rajveer, me, we did improv sessions, we did workshops together. There were so many delays because of COVID. Then, you know, of course, one of our sets had caught in fire. So we used that time to just keep prepping, you know, and I think that is what has kind of transcended onto screen.
What was going on inside you when she was about to go see the film for the first time?
So nervous, and I was so emotional at the end of that whole experience. Actually, I remember my entire family came together to watch the film, a rough edit of the film. So that was a very new experience, all in general, to come for my film. And my Masi came, my Masa came, my cousin brother, my dad, my brother, my mom. So it was us coming together, sitting in Rajshri, watching my debut film. It was just a very emotional experience.
And
I think
emotional not only for her. Everybody was
Everyone
crying at the end
was
of
in
it.
tears.
I mean, when the lights came on, we had my stoic brother-in-law who's a doctor and my sister and her. Everybody weeping, like emotional with happiness. They were so proud of her. They all are. And you know, because it was such a relief to know that this girl has totally done justice.
True.
And of course, at that time, Avnish and Surajji told us, "Arey, abhi to background nahi hai, effects nahi hai." We said, even without all of that, it is so impactful. And I must say, as a mother, as a person who's just saying, I was so proud of her. And that is, for me, the ultimate test. Her father is crying. Her brother, my God, he kept hugging her.
Oh, I've never seen my brother like that emotional, and he was crying, and it was just a day that I'll never ever forget in my life.
I'm sure. Ma'am, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was checking your filmography. I've actually seen every film. You have never done work with Rajshri.
I haven't, you know. Surprisingly, I was offered work by Rajshri when I was just starting my career. And that time Tarachanji was there, the doyen of Rajshri film. And somehow, because Trishul was just starting, and Gulshan Rai, who was the producer of Trishul, told me कि इस time पे अभी तुम करोगी तो, you know, our Trishul will get impacted. And Rajshri people, even from that time, used to make quick films, start to finish type of a thing. And for some reason, I missed out working with them. And I feel very regretful because they made beautiful films.
But do you feel like somewhere that void got filled because of your daughter?
Yes, absolutely. And I think they have presented her so beautifully. And I must say, when the time came for her final selection, she's doing a Rajshri film. As a mother, I was so relaxed. कि ये अच्छी company hai, because they are
I remember you saying that I wouldn't have wanted any other production house as your first film, because she felt very safe, I think, as a mom.
Yeah, not only on screen, off screen. Their whole work ethics and their culture, their decency. And I must say that till day I hold them in huge high esteem.
True. And like Paloma, now you have joined the leagues of people like Salman Khan, because Rajshri has launched these people in the leading capacity. And
by the way, even Madhuri Dixit was launched
exactly
by them.
Salman Khan, Madhuri Dixit, Bhagyashree, and everyone kind of took off instantly, and you joined this league. Does this also put a little bit of pressure on you because your name comes now in the same league?
I don't think I personally can look at it like that. It feels like a huge blessing, and I feel very lucky that they've backed me up and believed in me and given me this chance, and I only wanted to make them proud. And I do believe Suraj sir, he was so supportive and naturally felt like we've all done a good job, you know, because you could really see that it's coming from such an honest place. So to have someone like him feel that way about your work, I don't think anyone could have asked for anything more.
True. That have made it through, that started their journey with Rajshri, and now your name is now one of them. But growing up, like having a mother who's an actor, seeing her like manage her work life and personal life and be an amazing mother to you, how inspiring was that? And growing up, how did you see the profession as a child, as a daughter of an actor child?
When I was a child, I didn't know actually much about what an actor's job is. I didn't know what all happens in this world, in this like industry. I didn't know. When we would be traveling, I remember people would, you know,
that was the funniest side. She, as a little kid, hated it when people took my pictures.
I got possessive. I didn't know that this is what happens if you're an actor. It took me a while to understand. When I grew a little older, that's when I kind of could understand the nature.
She used to be a brat. She'd put the hand in front of a camera and say, "No, you can't take my mommy's photo."
Yeah, I used to think that
so protected.
I used to think that they're troubling mom, so I used to get very like sad and like possessive about that.
Protecting me. No, don't come. So, but you know, the thing is, strangely enough, people think actors' children must be living on the sets and coming there and having. She'd hardly ever been on my sets. She's really not seen shooting. Even her father was constantly making films. She was never on the sets. I mean, I don't think you went on.
I remember I wanted to see Lara ma'am and Vivek Oberoi in one dance number. So I went on that to see that Mastika, that rain dances then on the roof in the rain. I remember I went to go watch that because I loved both of them as you know, artists. But apart from that, like mom said, I never.
They were never exposed. They were not the filmy kids जो sets पे जाते हैं और बोलते हैं baby के लिए वो ले आओ. Never. They had never gone. Yes, when she was a little kid, couple of times she would come when I was shooting for this kitty party. But that was more out of कि अच्छा थोड़ा homework है, mom I need your help. I said just, and I was shooting right on the way between her house and my school. So she would pop by sometime, and you know, I wanted to just spend little 10 minutes with her, little hugs and kisses. So that was the only time while I'm working or emoting or shooting. She had never been exposed, neither of my kids actually.
I've enjoyed watching mom's plays a lot. I remember you did these amazing theatre performances and I was just so entertained by them. I didn't, more than just looking at it like, okay, this is what mom is doing. As an audience, I was super entertained. I remember you had one outfit, one entire...
She didn't recognize me also.
And you know, in theatre, they have to change so quickly their outfits. Like literally, they have like a small place where they go quickly, change their outfits, have to come back and start performing.
This particular show which I did, in a period of less than 2 minutes, I have about 6 changes. Back and forth, I have a double role in it. So for people was like, how do you do this? I said, that's what it is.
That's what acting is. That's what experience teaches you, I guess. But like when you're an actor or any public celebrity, everything you do is in public eye. Your success is in the public eye, failures are in the public eye. Everything is scrutinized. How difficult did it used to get while they were growing up? Like at a certain age, okay, they are still away, but as they grow up, they also get to see a lot of things. How challenging was it to keep them away from all the scrutiny that was coming through you?
Well, it was very easy because I never ever brought them to public places. And it was just something I had in my mind that my private life, my house, my kids are a separate thing. I am a public figure, they are not. And because I knew as a child, she used to hate it when people would come take my photographs and constantly try to talk to. She used to get very disturbed as a little girl. So I just made that as a rule that why should my kids have to be exposed to it? Because they are not part of that. And fortunately, they also were in that era when the whole world could not comment on your kids and your family.
Social media se dur the.
Social media se dur tha. So it was only the actual print media which would come, and most of the time they were, respecting that privacy. Maximum they would ask, "Can we do a photo with your kids?" And I said, "No, I don't want them," and they accepted that. And so that was not a very difficult part. Today is the difficult part, I think, to keep a level head and to be indifferent to so much of the rubbish also which comes across sometimes. And I wonder sometimes why people are so, I would say, constantly having so much time and energy to waste on everybody. I don't know how come. They should focus it on their own lives and improving it. Na? दुनिया भर के लिए comment करते हैं. I don't know why.
But Paloma, for you as well, like as a daughter, when you would see your parents, not just ma'am, but your father also battling professional lows and everything, even though it's something different on screen, but at house you are seeing them going through that phase. As a daughter, how difficult did it used to get to see them go through it, be that vulnerable phase for you?
I do feel like my dad and mom are extremely hardworking, and they've been extremely hardworking since they joined this industry and till date. So they've never given up.
Yeah.
They have always kind of instilled those qualities with intentionally or unintentionally, because you're watching these people in and out of your house on a daily basis. How can you not be inspired by them? So it was, even though they see, and of course, having parents, you see and understand the nature of the industry as well. You know that there are going to be times where you will be maybe one day having a successful film, and another day you might not have a successful film. My dad's films got leaked. That's something that he can't control. It's something that happened to a few films, I remember at the time. But the way that and he particularly, if you ask, because of his business and business side of things, the way he's come out of those situations and constantly been so persistent and positive. Both my parents are so positive as people, and they always want us to be like that, just positive, enjoy what you're doing, don't be stressed out about it, be positive. Like those small changes can make a very big difference in your outlook, right?
See, as parents, you want your kids to be happy all the time. So we try and constantly encourage them. See, if today, like one of the things which I would tell her and tell most of the youngsters today, social media is not the only way to live. Live a real life also.
Yeah.
Don't live it only through the social media and through the camera. But at the same time, they have been also, as she said, you learn not by lecture and dialogues, you learn through watching. You learn through watching your parents and through their experience.
And I agree with one thing she said, you radiate positivity. Like there's a brightness that comes out whenever you are right across anyone. There's a positivity that exudes, and that has always been there. And I think that connects to a lot of people. That's why you have had such an illustrious career over the years.
Thank you.
But Paloma, like growing up, were you more of a daddy's daughter or more like a mama's girl?
I think obviously I'm constantly more in touch with mom, but that doesn't say dad is not my best friend either.
Yeah.
I'm very close to both my parents and my brother and my masi and my masi. Honestly,
We are very
close
Chukku family.
I can't see anything without them really.
Yeah, but Paloma, like you saw your brother debut before you, and he saw maybe not the better side of it.
Because the day his film released, theatres were closed.
Exactly. So you saw it, and the scrutiny that came with it. Did it ever kind of deter you, or maybe gave you a little bit of doubt of if maybe going into acting is the right decision for me?
Not at all. I do feel it was something that he could not control, which a lot of things in this industry one can't control. COVID happened. His film came out in the theatres when nobody was stepping out of their house. We didn't know when theatres were going to start functioning fully. And then, of course, his film came up on OTT. So it was a very unusual
And
launch
that time
film.
OTT wasn't as popular as it has become today. You know, the respect and the interest and the quality of film, it was just the starting, because during the COVID, people started watching. And now films and productions are made specially for OTT. That time it was majboori कि और कोई theatres तो सब बंद हैं, खुलेंगे भी तो कोई जाएगा नहीं. I mean, I remember when they opened, out of choice, I remember Anmol also wanted to go for a film. I said, no need to go right now. Why do you want to be exposed? See, we were so fearful of what had happened at that time. I mean, the world had gone into fear. So it was a situation which none of us could control.
True.
So,
but having said that, my brother has been one of the most encouraging and supporting people in my life. I've been very influenced by him in terms of sports and even acting. I feel like that was something, movies. And he's been such a good support system, even though he had such a different experience from me. And one of the things that he cried at, remember we told you he had gotten emotional and cried at the Rajshri office when you were watching the film. He literally told me, dude, that I'm so happy that you're getting this, because my experience was very different.
Are you going to cry now?
It was a very special moment that we both had, and I'm very grateful for him too.
He totally looks out for her. His, I think, his concern for her almost is as much, if not more than us as parents. The way he, because he understands, and sometimes he tells me, Mom, this I understand because we are. So their bond is something which is amazing.
I completely. And I watched that film on OTT when it came on Netflix.
Yeah.
I watched Tuesdays and Fridays, and I thought like it deserved a better release at that time. And just you can't control it. Like your film wasn't releasing, but your shoot kind of suffered because of that, the lockdown. You also kind of experienced that kind of hindrance.
Like a delay.
Yeah. But I have to ask, ma'am, like people know Soni Mahiwal, like Poonam and Sunny's Jodi. When you got to know that she's debuting with Sunny Sir's son, like it's gonna be like a reliving of that iconic Jodi on screen. How was your reaction like?
I think I was pleasantly surprised for one thing, and I thought they would make a really good pair.
Yeah.
Because I had seen Rajveer's photographs, and see, physically on screen you have to look good together. So that I knew for certain they would.
Yeah.
And I knew the background of the family and everything. Very, very nice and decent people. So I was happy, and I think they did a good job together, and they looked perfect on screen.
Did it ever happen that you and Sunny Sir went on set at the same time while they were shooting?
No, actually it didn't happen.
Oh, that would be so exciting
I
to
know.
see.
We should have planned it like that. But you know, Sun is also a bit of a reticent person. He's quite shy also. And as a mother, I took a decision not to be the typical helicopter mom hovering around all the time. So I felt that she might get a little awkward or conscious if I'm there. So I went on a set just a couple of times, more out of enthusiasm. And I don't think Sunny came that often too, did he?
No, in fact, when we were in Thailand, right after you left,
I
they
came
in.
for 4 days, and the day I left, in fact, they were telling me, why didn't you stay? Sunny and all are coming. I said, no, I was traveling somewhere else after that. I said, no, I can't stay. But we missed each other. On the
just
set.
missed each other. But let me tell you, like, she wouldn't not get nervous as such, because I've met her 3 or 4 times now, and I can tell you that she's a thorough professional.
She is. I saw that also.
When she's at work,
she wasn't
she's
nervous when I was there.
And I think that reflects on screen, that aura that she radiates. That's why I said in my intro, we saw that same charm, but in a unique and fresh way.
Yeah,
I have actually written it, that she has made a smashing debut.
Thank you.
And she's gonna light up a lot of screens, and a lot of films she's gonna do that are gonna make us fall in love with her more. We have been in love with you for a long time, and we will continue to do so. Can't wait to see you two together on screen, and we have given a glimpse to the people how they are gonna look together. So please cast them together. So thank you so much for this conversation, and wishing you both lots and lots of love and luck for everything.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
Hope you guys
Wonderful.
enjoyed it.
Thank you so much
Really
for all your nice words. Thank
Thank
you. Hi, I'm Poonam Dhillon,
I am Paloma,
and you're watching us on Bollywood Bubble.